And of course, the fact that people are refusing the vaccine is a huge issue. It's not reaching herd immunity by the fall could have dire consequences, according to medical experts. About 2.4 million people in the United States are now receiving COVID-19 vaccinations daily, but one medical expert thinks the nation may not reach herd immunity this year if more people can't be persuaded to get the shot. What I really worry about is that those people who are already on the fence don't get vaccinated, and we don't reach herd immunity come the fall. This is according to CNN medical analyst Dr. Leanna Wen. And then with the winter, we have a big resurgence. Maybe we have variants coming in from other countries, or variants that started here in our own country. We've got one going around in California. Numbers in Washington are shooting up, so it seems like there's some variant loose up there. I did see that about San Francisco. Yay, at least there's smart people out on the West Coast. So far, more than 44% of the population has received at least one COVID-19 vaccine dose, and more than 31% is fully vaccinated, according to data from the CDC. And for the ongoing local, state, and federal efforts to get more shots into Americans' arms, now comes the hard part: reaching audiences that weren't as eager to get vaccinated in the past few months, or who may not have had access to a shot. Once again, that's why I'm gonna make my way down the hill, even if I have to walk down to the pharmacy. Unfortunately, I looked up like where the fucking vaccine is. It's not at the little hometown pharmacy that's right here close to me. No, it's at a CVS. That's 2.5 miles away. Not the little hometown pharmacy here in my little hippie neighborhood that I live in. Fuck no. One doctor told CNN on Sunday he's worried officials haven't, and we're going to talk about how these pharmacies have fucked things up. Another result of capitalism. One doctor told CNN on Sunday he's worried officials haven't offered strong enough incentives for some Americans to get vaccinated, including younger Americans. What I worry about mostly are the young people, primary care physician Dr. Saju Matthew said. I see them every day pretty much at work. The CDC issued new guidance last week saying fully vaccinated people can unmask at small outdoor gatherings or when dining outside with friends from multiple households. But the guidelines are too cautious, Matthew said. I think that the CDC missed an opportunity to say, listen, we can return to pre-pandemic lives, and you can do more if you're vaccinated. I think if you're erring on a side, you should err on the side of caution, but that's just me. I'm not a medical professional. He is talking about using it as an incentive to get more people vaccinated. Everyone 16 and older is currently eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine in the U.S., but polling data shows younger Americans are least likely to get a shot. What? How are people in my age range least likely to get a shot? But 36% of adults under the age of 35 say they don't plan on getting one. A recent Quinnipiac University poll found. That is particularly worrisome for several reasons. Unvaccinated young Americans have helped fuel cases have helped fuel case increases across the U.S., including in several states last month. At that time, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky warned that infections and hospitalizations were going up, predominantly among younger adults who hadn't been vaccinated. And in places like Michigan, which battled a violent spring surge, officials reported last month that they were seeing younger and healthier COVID-19 patients in hospitals, hit hard by more contagious variants. Last week, West Virginia Governor Jim Justice said the state was offering a $100 savings bond to residents 16 to 35 who get the shot, in a push to get more younger residents vaccinated. The median age of residents testing positive for the virus has dropped, the governor said. When it recently came down to 44 years of age, we thought, we've got a problem. We need to get our young people vaccinated. But now we're down to 34. And that means we've got a ton of young people that are testing positive. And if they're testing positive, that means there's a ton of people that have it because they're getting sick enough to go get tested. The governor warned young people that they should be concerned both about transmitting the virus and about the long-term effects that may linger long past their infection, the long COVID. The point was also recently made by National Institutes of Health Director Dr. Francis Collins, who said the long-term consequences of COVID-19 for young people can be quite serious, and we don't even know them all yet. In Oregon, where the governor recently tightened restrictions for some counties amid a surge in new cases and hospitalizations, another warning for young residents. The overwhelming majority of our new COVID-19 cases are from people who have not yet been vaccinated, Governor Kate Brown said in a statement. Younger, unvaccinated Oregonians are now showing up in our hospitals with severe cases of COVID-19. We've got multiple variants going around. This is going to be exacerbated by the fact that CVS, Walgreens have wasted more COVID vaccine doses than most states combined. There's one for you, all the free markets can do it better fucking bullshit propagandists. Put that one in your pipe and smoke it. Two national pharmacy chains that the federal government entrusted to inoculate people against COVID-19 account for the lion's share of wasted vaccine doses, according to government data obtained by Kaiser Health News. The CDC recorded 182,874 wasted doses as of late March, 3 months into the country's effort to vaccinate the masses against the coronavirus. CVS was responsible for nearly half, and Walgreens was responsible for 21%. CDC data suggests that the companies have wasted more doses than the states, U.S. territories, and federal agencies combined. Pfizer's vaccine, which in December was the first to be deployed and initially required storage at ultra-cold temperatures, made up nearly 60% of the tossed doses. Not completely clear from the CDC data why the two chains wasted so much more vaccine than the states and federal agencies. Because they're inefficient. Some critics have pointed to poor planning early in the rollout, when the Trump administration leaned heavily on CVS and Walgreens to vaccinate residents and staff members of long-term care facilities. In response to questions, CVS said nearly all of its reported vaccine waste occurred during that effort. Walgreens didn't specify how many doses were wasted during the long-term care program. And while we are still dealing with the effects of the pandemic, a petition calling for monthly $2,000 stimulus checks has garnered more than 2 million signatures. A petition calling for a large monthly stimulus check to help buffer the economy. I'm sorry, I fucked that completely up. A petition calling for large monthly stimulus checks to help buffer the economic blows caused by the coronavirus pandemic has garnered more than 2 million signatures. The petition was first started last year on change.org by Colorado restaurant owner Stephanie Bonin. In addition to the $2,000 monthly checks, the petition asked Congress to approve $1,000 monthly payments for dependents. Fantastic. We've had multiple members of Congress also call for a similar program. There have been 3 rounds of stimulus checks since the start of the pandemic. The first, approved in March 2020, included payments of up to $1,200, followed by payments of up to $600. Then in March, Congress passed a third round of up to $1,400. President Biden hasn't commented directly on the possibility of a 4th stimulus check, but addressed the importance of the financial aid in his address to Congress last week. I thought it made it sound like he was at least considering some sort of aid. Several members of Congress agree. A group of Democratic representatives and senators have sent separate letters to the White House to push for reoccurring monthly payments. Those efforts are expected to face stiff opposition from Republicans, because of course they are. Why? Because right-wingers are fucking morons. Boy, are we ever going to prove that on tonight's show. I'm absolutely for monthly checks. Without question, it would be good for the economy. And at this moment in time, when we're trying to get a grip on this pandemic, which is still surging in places, we need to be proactive and we need to encourage people to stay home. Instead, we're seeing a deluge of stories about how places can't get workers. It's all propaganda and it's all bullshit. Also, bullshit coming from the state of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis signs a bill banning vaccine passports. Spoiler alert, that's a thing that doesn't fucking exist. The party that's against cancel culture is canceling something that doesn't exist. I'm really fucking my shit up tonight, aren't I? The chat's not displaying. I'm fucking my microphone up. God damn.
The vaccines are safe. They work. And there's more
yes,
than enough for everyone.
they're safe and they work.
DeSantis, and because of that, he says
there's more than enough for everyone here in this country. There's not in other countries, thanks to our greedy goddamn corporations and their little fucking plan they put together with Bill Gates. Congratulations on your divorce, motherfucker. For some reason, news outlets felt that Bill and Melinda Gates getting a divorce is breaking news. I didn't feel that it was worthy more than a mention to make a joke about it. But I'm sorry you're not high enough for these technical. I wish you to get higher, sir, so that you can deal with my technical issues. My apologies. I completely forgot the point I was making. I was making an excellent point, and I do not remember what it was.
There's no longer a state of emergency in Florida. Today, he signed new laws and executive orders that suspend all local ordinances related to COVID-19.
Once again, hypocritical. Where are these right-wingers that are supposed to be in favor of local control, local government, local governance? Hypocrites, all of them, hypocrites. DeSantis signed an order that says that local municipalities, cities like Miami or the county, Miami-Dade County, Broward County, where the people actually are, can't have their own ordinances.
Explaining his decision, Dan?
Belinda, the governor made the announcement surrounded by a bunch of local business owners that have been very frustrated, it's safe to say, over COVID restrictions. And the governor today said that the pandemic, it's not over.
I've been frustrated over COVID and people dying.
Government's policing the pandemic, that is over.
So my message is the vaccines protect you, get vaccinated, and then live your life as if you're protected.
And with those words, Governor Ron DeSantis put
And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You're going to hear so much more from this motherfucker. Word is he's got some strong challengers on the Democratic side for the 2020 governor's race. That's going to be a national race that outlets are going to cover. But also, he's going to be in your face come the 2024 primary. Yeah, fucking Bill Gates and his presidential candidate DeSantis, absolutely. The whole Trump thing, I think it was Kyle Kalinske might have made it. It might have been Shank over on Young Turks made a point that Trump coming out and saying DeSantis would make a great VP was like a heading it off, trying to cut him off before he could gain too much momentum. Yeah, the Bill Gates put together COVAX. Is that the name of it? He was integral in that fucking plan in order to get vaccines to the third world countries. The ones that don't have their own manufacturers, that can't, that aren't large enough to buy from the stockpile from Pfizer and Moderna. Bill Gates helped put that plan together. And he's a piece of shit because he helped convince the government to keep the patent in the hands of the companies instead of making it just like, you know, open source. So that then drug companies in India could produce their own vaccines instead of having to wait in line to buy from our supply while their country gets ravaged. Because that's what's happening right now. They don't have enough vaccines. And that's a problem all over the world.
pen to paper using his executive power to get rid of all city and county.
But just like the U.S., we've wasted what 100 and something thousand doses we just talked about. That's exactly the way we do. We're such a fucking horrible country. Gluttonous even. Fucking DeSantis.
Masks not over. But he says when it comes to...
I'm not high enough to hear from Ron DeSantis.
The pandemic, that is over.
So my message is the vaccines protect you, get vaccinated, and then live your life as if you're protected.
And with those words, Governor Ron DeSantis put pen to paper using his executive power to get rid of all city and county orders dealing with the pandemic. Businesses, they can still set their own rules, like requiring customers to wear masks, but the county or city...
I'm surprised about that.
...force them to. Monday morning, the governor also signed a bill into law that requires any future emergency orders be narrow in scope.
But one of the things that I hate about that, and I've gone over it so many times, is when you lift ordinances and you put the onus on the business, and the business tries to do the right thing, force people to wear masks. You get assholes that think that they can skirt the rules, like, oh, it's not law anymore. It's not law anymore. I can do whatever I want. They go in, they make trouble, and these poor fucking workers that don't get paid enough to deal with this bullshit has to listen to the fucking rantings of these idiots. The government could take that burden off of the businesses easily. But no, Ron DeSantis is a fucking idiot.
And limited to no more than 42 days.
I think folks that are saying that they need to be policing people at this point, if you're saying that, you really are saying you don't believe in the vaccines. You don't believe in the data. You don't believe in the science. We've embraced the vaccines. We've embraced the science on it, the data.
No, I do. I know how they work. You don't. You're lying to people.
It's even better in real life.
DeSantis made the announcement at the Big Catch at Salt Creek Restaurant in St. Pete. He was flanked by many business owners who have been very critical of Mayor Rick Kreisman's enforcement of his mask mandate. Kreisman held a news conference at the same location 2 hours later.
No, we're not even at 50% vaccination yet in Pinellas County, let alone
Yep.
the rest of the state. You know, and so If that's the case, then why isn't the CDC saying no more masks? I trust the CDC before I trust Governor DeSantis.
Mayor Kreisman also
I
said
definitely
it's
don't
a bad
trust
precedent for
DeSantis.
stripping local governments
No one
of their
should.
power. DeSantis also signed a law banning so-called vaccine passports, where someone would be required to
aren't
show
a
proof of
thing.
vaccination. I reached out to the city of Tampa Mayor Jane Castor's office to get their comment, their position on this, their thoughts. And Linda, I was told as of today that they're still waiting on the guidance to come down from Tallahassee. They want to read through the order, make sure they understand it properly, and we'll know their position on this later this week. Back to you.
All right, Dan Maddox.
I see it. I see us fucking it up right in front of me. I'm worried about what this fall is going to look like. And if you go back, you look at past pandemics. If we follow the trends, the worry is that it's going to continue to mutate and that the vaccines will be less effective or not even effective at all. That it mutates into something completely different. So like we should have tried to minimize the number of people getting it from the get-go. But no, we're stupid.